Well, good morning, everyone. I was going to ask you a skill testing question, but Ronit gave the answer away. So my opening question was going to be, what percentage of the world's GDP comes from the technology sector? So the answer is 10%. And you know, it's very interesting because by 2030, technology will only represent 1/10 of the global GDP. But crucially, and I think this is the important point, crucially, the other 90% of traditional industries will make up much of the rest of the world's GDP, and they'll be totally dependent on technology. We're at an inflection point, and no business will survive without fully integrating technology into everything that it does. Which is why I'm so pleased to be here today with all of you, the people who are truly driving the world's growth. You know, Israel is playing and will continue to play a vital role as a leading technology investment and innovation hub, and it has deservedly earned its reputation as the startup nation, with the largest number of startups in the world. So you now have a wonderful opportunity to put Israeli innovation firmly at the forefront of the world's leading organizations. And I think to some extent, all of us, every single one of us, is here looking to chart a new path. You know, we're all searching for ways to use new innovation and technology to take our businesses, and frankly our clients' businesses, to a whole new level. But neither we nor our clients are able to do this alone, which is why, in my mind, collaboration is so important. There's another tricky challenge I think that we all have to grapple with, and that is people. The best technology in the world, it comes to nothing if we can't get our people to adopt and truly take a digital mindset. Now, put simply, we can't make the most of technology without the right people and the right attitude. And we've seen examples where companies all over the world, they do not, or they fail to achieve the promised breakthroughs due to internal resistance and a lack, frankly, of essential capabilities. So, I don't think there's a lot that I can teach any of you about technology. I'm not a technology person. But what I'm going to do is spend my time here today talking about the two things that I think are really important to me: collaboration and people. And frankly, I'm here to tell you that collaboration and people should be at the heart of everything that you do as well. So before I get into that, I want to give you some context on how organizations and frankly their leaders think about technology and view technology. So as a CEO who spends a whole lot of time meeting a number of other CEOs, I thought I'd share with you what's on their minds and give you a little bit of insight into how they feel about technology and innovation. What are they looking for? What's worrying them? And first, the good news. CEOs, they want to build resilient organizations. They want to capitalize on disruption. They want to create innovation-friendly cultures, rethink operating models, and reboot their leadership teams. But in short, they're putting their organizations under constant pressure to change. And they're challenging entrenched management ideas and organizational thinking so they can respond quickly to changing customer needs. A significant majority, and you saw a few of these stats earlier, a significant majority, over 70%, told us in our annual CEO Outlook survey that their company's growth relies on their ability to challenge and disrupt any and every business norm. And take cybersecurity, something that, Israel frankly excels in. More than 7 out of 10 CEOs see information security as a strategic function and a source of competitive advantage. A similar proportion, so about 7% 60% believe that a stronger cyber strategy is critical to building trust with key stakeholders. This calls for a culture where, frankly, cybersecurity isn't just a group's responsibility, it's everybody's responsibility. You know, in the end, there's no use training cybersecurity professionals when everybody else in the organization is doing risky things that could truly compromise that organization. AI, let's focus on AI for a sec. AI is another strong area of competency for many Israeli tech firms. It has enormous potential, from intelligent automation to voice recognition, and it can speed up tasks formerly carried out by humans alone. But the winners in the AI era, they'll be those that embrace change rapidly and efficiently. Our latest research shows that only 16%, so less than 20% of CEOs say that their organizations have used AI to automate processes in their company. So the good news is there's a long way to go and a great opportunity to take advantage of that. But AI, it comes with some big risks. Applying AI is very different than mainstream IT deployment. And many organizations, frankly, do not have the skills to do this. And on top of this, our clients are facing a lot of resistance. They're facing resistance with their employees who are worried about the future of their jobs. And there's a further concern about AI, and that's truly in ethics. In a variety of industries, government, defense, automotive, financial services, just to mention a few. So AI has the opportunity to solve big societal problems, but we all have to face the future with a very, very eye. For instance, 71% of CEOs, they say that they have totally disregarded data-driven insights that didn't align in their decision-making with their own personal experience or their own intuition. And trust, and Ronit talked about trust. Trust in AI, it requires checks and balances to ensure that the underlying algorithms, they don't suffer from, in and of themselves, a bias and biased information. You need to put, as you're building these things, you need to put diligent quality controls in place to provide greater confidence in those database decisions. Which brings me back to the concept of collaboration. And we need to act with a sense of shared responsibility. All of us. Because AI will not be enabled by the tech sector alone. Companies and regulators, they've got to come together to work on solutions. No single business or technology provider can have all the answers. And we're not entering, in my mind, we're not entering a digital-first era. We're entering a collaboration-first era. And no one will lead in digital unless they also lead in collaboration. And collaboration is built on trust, and it breeds trust. We have to trust our partners. We can only hand over important processes to technology when we can trust the quality of that technology and the quality of the output. I'll give you an example. 5 years ago, KPMG would have built technology solutions ourselves from end to end. Now, we work with a partner to do this. 5 years ago, we would have had security concerns about the cloud. Today, we place much of our data in the cloud, and it's the safest place, and we trust our partners to help us protect it. We take our alliance with Microsoft that Ronit talked about, which is geared toward enhancing innovation. We are extending together the range of all our digital offerings. And we are already winning work through an ecosystem of strategic alliances and a truly global innovation network. So KPMG expects to spend in the next few years $5 billion in digital strategy together with Microsoft. And we're expanding our Microsoft alliance to accelerate that transformation of not just our firm, but frankly the entire professional services sector. And with new innovations built on a Microsoft cloud and the AI platforms, together we're going to help our clients dramatically improve their decision making, drive up their productivity, and become much more efficient. But as I've always said, we can't do this without the full commitment of our people. And as a leader of a firm that employs more than 220,000 people in 150 countries around the world, I'm all too aware of the need to create a much smarter workplace. Collaboration, it has to be used. Collaboration, if you look back historically, collaboration used to be about getting teams to work together. Now, it's about getting those teams, those people in those teams, to work together with technology. And unfortunately, many of today's enterprises are still structured around this historical, outdated concept of the workforce. They've created this digital divide between technology strategies in today's world on one side and humans and historical technology that now form the workforce on the other side. And consequently, as a result, we're not seeing the promised step change in efficiency and productivity that everybody's looking for. Machines have many qualities, but perhaps the greatest of those is that today, thanks to technology, you can update them very easily. And I've thought about this a lot. If only it was as easy to update people as it was to update my phone. Imagine how simpler it would be for all of us if my job just resulted in you could click and instantly every member of KPMG was suddenly up to speed on exactly how to utilize the technology that they have in front of them. Imagine how great that would be. But one big people-related hurdle is the significant trust gap that hinders the efficient use of technology. And research suggests that only 35% of executives fully trust their organization's technology and analytics capabilities. So we got to upskill people for a digital world. So they learn to embrace technology and innovation and not fear it. The challenge is this, though. In order to use technology to redesign the way that we work, we've got to go beyond cost and productivity. And we've got to start to look at and include value, meaning, purpose, impact. And skilling up for an AI-powered world, it involves a lot more than just STEM. As computers increasingly behave more like humans, the social sciences and the humanities, they're going to grow in importance along the way. And at KPMG, we're augmenting the digital skills of our global workforce and expanding the talent in areas such as data science and digital architecture. On a macro level, it's interesting to see what's going on around the world. And let me just give you an example of Japan. So Japan's a country with a very unique culture. And it's often, cautious about change. It's got an economy that's still very much reliant on a lot of traditional industries, especially heavy manufacturing. And you might have thought that it was less welcoming from a digital-led transformation. Yet many, many Japanese producers and manufacturers today have become successful early adopters of major new technologies. And more importantly, they recognize that they're no longer just manufacturers. They're also technology companies, software companies, and the like. And they realize that they need to embrace partners on that tech journey with them. It's a great story, and I'd encourage you all to dig into that, because such collaboration sets the standard for all of us going forward. So let me wrap this up with a few thoughts, I think, about preparing for a digital-first, collaboration-first future. To integrate technology successfully, manage data efficiently, and then cope with the cyber threat, we need collaboration. Collaboration between all of the players. You, our mutual clients, regulators, and many other parties in the ecosystem. And we need to rethink the workforce and never, ever lose sight of people and the important role that human talent is going to continue to play in all of our efforts. We've got to overcome the digital divide and truly marry the power of technology on one side and people on the other. And if we do that, then who knows where this journey is going to lead us. Being here in Israel, the startup nation, is a reminder of the amazing potential of technology. If we can realize this potential, then technology, driven by collaboration and people, will bring enormous, enormous benefits to every single one of us and truly drive the global economy. Thank you very much.